Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here. Welcome to another video today. I'm going to be showing you guys my most ideal team that I want to possibly make in FIFA. If I sound a little bit sick right now, it's because I am. That's why I haven't been streaming for the last 2 days. So if I take little breaks in between to like breathe a little bit, please forgive me. So the teams that I would want to make, and I've been telling this to people in the past, is that my fullbacks I'd like to be high high. My center backs either like medium high or medium medium. Those are probably the most ideal. If it's a high medium, the player stats need to make up for it. Left mids, right mids, high high, high medium would be really nice. High low is not really the best decision to go with, but it depends if the player stats kind of make up for it. Center mids, high high, high medium would be ideal. If you like Pogba in this game, he actually might work out even though he's high low. For the cam spot, high high, high medium, so on and so forth. High low would be okay for a cam. High low first, high lows, low first. High lows for strikers works really nicely. High mediums for strikers works really nicely. But I'm gonna show you guys the ideal players that I'd want. So this is me just kind of going at the top of my head here without even knowing who's in this game that I could put in my squads. But as you guys know, meta is very important in FIFA. It's only really important if you're a good player. If you're a good player, well, it's important for the good player and for the average player, right? So for the good player, they will play significantly better, and for the average player, it will just help them play against people who are good at the game but don't necessarily have a good team because these players do definitely make the difference, right? So right off the top of my head, I know for a straight fact I'm gonna need Patrick Vieira in the team. There's no questions asked about this. I know that there's a lot of legends in this game, but in regards to Patrick Vieira, if you look at his card, medium high work rates, 6'4". If you look at his attributes, right, his agility is 74 with 70 balance, but he has acceleration and sprint speed. His defending stats are fantastic. His physical stats are fantastic. You could kind of put whatever chemistry style you'd want on this card, and it would benefit you greatly. You may want to give him shooting so that way, when he whatever he does get through on goal, he actually can shoot. Even if you have your CDMs to stay back while attacking, the shooting with these cards is going to be important in different situations, especially since he has 91 composure. You may want to upgrade it. But with someone like Patrick Vieira, I think the main focus with CDMs in this game is to give them the highest pace, defending, and physical possible. So that way they could play to the best of their ability. He's 6'4", so he's going to be able to win the ball in the air for you a lot. Medium high work rates, which is perfect for a CDM. He's not going to push up, but he can if you want him to. He doesn't necessarily have the weak foot, but again, you can't have everything to be perfect, right? His defending stats are fantastic. His physical stats are fantastic. His agility and balance with the acceleration and sprint speed is very good for a CDM. And his attacking in general is already very good for a CDM too, because a CDM that has extra passing, shooting, and dribbling stats is definitely very beneficial to have, right? So Patrick Vieira is just at the top of my head that I would definitely use. For the striker, this is a 100% thing. Obviously, Cristiano Ronaldo is always going to be an absolute god in this game, right? If you use Cristiano Ronaldo, again, for strikers, high-low work rates. He's right-footed, 4-star weak foot, 5-star skill moves, right? But he's 6'2", so again, he's got the height, he's got the physical presence with 79 physical. If you look at his stats in general, his pace, his shooting is already quite nice. I would still make his shooting as perfect as possible, right? Now, the thing about this card is that as a striker, because the pace isn't like too relevant right now, I'm actually going to probably experiment with putting snipers on most of my cards, because if you give Ronaldo a sniper, right, don't worry about his passing stat because it's not like a completely relevant thing to do right now. His finishing needs to be as perfect as possible, and his dribbling needs to be as perfect as possible. If you give him a sniper card, it's either a +5 or a +10 on that balance, and it'll make a huge difference on the card. He has 87 agility, but with the sniper card, it'll improve it. It'll improve it as well, right? So Cristiano Ronaldo, definitely a player to get in the game. Now the rest of the cards, I'm not really entirely too sure, because now it's just going to be me thinking at the top of my head. So someone like Rio Ferdinand, right? Rio Ferdinand has probably medium or medium high work rates. So medium work rates is fantastic for him. He's 83 pace with 91 defending, 86 physical. We're gonna go ahead and see if there is any other center backs. I'm gonna turn off the Elgato for you guys. I'm gonna see if there's any other center backs that are gonna be here, not bronze players. Any cards, concept cards, and then we'll just go from there. So we have people like Paolo Maldini, by Moore, Maldini, Sergio Ramos, Carlos Puyol, Godin, Laurent Blanc, Desailly. Okay. So, the two most meta center backs are probably going to be, just from the looks of all the center backs that are here right now, the two most meta center backs are probably going to be Maldini and Rio Ferdinand. Because I think Maldini also has a medium-high work rate on his card. Desailly might be really good too, but I think Desailly might be low-high. He's medium-high, so his dribbling and passing is okay. His agility and balance is quite low. Let's see what a Maldini's agility and balance is, because Maldini used to play as a fullback, so it should be better. So the agility and balance with Rio Ferdinand is 60 and 57 with good acceleration and sprint speed. So that's okay. Maldini is with medium-high work rates with a 4-star weak foot with good passing and dribbling stats. And he has 65 agility and 69 balance. So that's also very good for a center back. So these are probably going to be the two most ideal center backs to use in the game. Some other center backs that I can think of at the top of my head, probably Virgil van Dijk. Let me see this card here. So Virgil van Dijk has 71 pace, but with this card, because his physical stats are already fantastic, you could just give him a shadow card and it'll drastically improve his acceleration and his sprint speed. I think it's a plus 10 or a plus 15, I can't remember exactly, but improving the defensive stat as much as possible when you already have physical stats, because he's a big guy in game, 6'4", medium work rates. He's going to be absolutely bossing it in the center back area. I think Davinson Sanchez also has another very good card. So Davinson Sanchez is the 84 one. And obviously it's always EPL, because EPL always has like really good cards. So Davinson Sanchez has really good acceleration with sprint speed with the agility and balance. His physical stats is already very good, but because his jumping is 73, that could be a little bit of a hindrance. Even though he's 6'2", 73 jumping is still kind of low, right? And I'll show you guys why. Because when I use someone like Eric Bailly, right, I was using Rudiger for a while, and I didn't like Rudiger because he kind of screwed up too many opportunities, right? But someone like Eric Bailly, if you look at his physical stats, they're already very, very good, right? He has 85 jumping, 85 strength, 87 aggression, while being 6'2". That jumping being 85 is a big, big deal. That's something that Davinson Sanchez doesn't have, but someone like Virgil van Dijk does have, right? And I think that would be very beneficial to have Virgil van Dijk and Eric Bailly as your two center backs because of that very reason, because you want to be able to defend against those corners, right? Even though headers are kind of a little bit overpowered, and Lucas Moura could still win against these guys because it's happened to me already. It would be ideal to use two center backs like this, right? So if I use Virgil van Dijk could be a next purchase, but he might be really expensive too. He's probably like 100 something K. So Maldini and Rio Ferdinand. Maldini, medium-high work rates is perfect, and then Rio Ferdinand, medium. You may want to have two center backs that have the same work rate so that they're kind of balanced all together. But then if you realize that the Rio Ferdinand being medium isn't ideal, then obviously you kind of switch, or you switch out Maldini, put in Van Dijk or something, and then that would work out really nicely too. But as of right now, this looks like the most ideal lineup so far, right? The other CDMs, so they added Michael Ballack this year. So Michael Ballack has medium-high work rates as well, and I think he has a 4-star weak foot and 4-star skills. So 4-star, medium-high work rates, if you look at his attributes. His agility and balance isn't great, but if you're going to be using him as a CDM with medium-high work rates, very, very good. His shooting stats in general are already very, very good. So you can give him an anchor card to increase his physical as much as possible, or you could give him a shadow card because his physical is already very good. And because Michael Ballack is 6'2" with a big physical stature in game, he's already going to play very well for you in game, right? So obviously, improving his physical won't be a huge deal because his jumping and stamina and all that stuff isn't going to be incredibly noticeable. But his defending stats being improved with the slide tackling, the marking, and all that stuff, those are things you'll definitely notice. So probably give him a shadow card on Michael Ballack, put him on the left side because he does have the 4-star weak foot with 4-star skills. So right now you have two good CDMs. If a corner comes in, you can pretty much block any corner because you have tall guys that are your diamond formation is looking really nice. The cam spots, I would probably put Ruud Gullit in here, right? And if you guys want me to make a cheaper variation of this formation with the team that I currently have, if you guys want me to make a cheaper variation, because I have an EPL team and I could show you like what upgrades I'd make to that team. I could do that for the future videos if you guys are interested in that. So the reason why I would have Ruud Gullit in my team for this one, right? So I just need the pauses because the reason why I would have Ruud Gullit as a cam in my team here is because he has defensive capabilities, right? So with Cam Gullit, because he's 6 foot, I think he's 6'3", yeah, 6'3" with high medium work rates, a 5-star weak foot, 4-star skill moves. Defensive capabilities is very important because he's a big guy who can defend in the midfield. He can intercept the ball and you can go on a counterattack that way, right? And I think a player like Ruud Gullit would be fantastic to have in this general area in the cam spot because now, if you look at your little diamond formation or your little pentagon formation you got going on here, you have 5 very capable people of defending for you, and it's going to make a huge difference in your team once you have these types of players in there. Goalkeeper, I'm not really sure about the goalkeepers. Goalkeepers is something you probably these excuse me, these are cards that you're probably gonna like try out and they're gonna be already very good. You probably won't even have to like actually try them out because from there's certain stats that like you notice them in game, right? And they have all the things to make them good cards. With Ruud Gullit, his finishing is still 89, so it's either I give him a hunter. I'd probably give him a hunter to increase his pace because his agility is already 78 to 85 balance. You may want to give him a sniper if you don't really care too much about the pace to increase his finishing as much as possible, as well as his composure and stuff. So he's basically perfect in all that. And yeah, a sniper could be good. A hunter could be good if you really want to increase that pace. But the cam spot, you don't notice the pace too much. But when they're through on goal, there's certain moments where they actually would have been through on goal if they actually had the pace, right? So left mids, I can check left mids right now. So if I search for left mids, let me just reset this here. If I search, it's either left mids or left wingers. I think the preferable thing to have is a right-footed player who has like a 5-star weak foot or something. That'd be like really good because in this year's game, finesse shots are very effective. So it'd be very ideal, right? So he doesn't have a good weak foot, so right off the bat, I wouldn't use that. Perisic I don't like because his agility and balance is low, although he doesn't have a 5-star weak foot. Douglas Costa could be very good, but I think he doesn't have the weak foot. I can't see anybody left mid-wise that looks worthy, to be honest. Heung-min Son could be good, but so here's my take on the cards this year, right? So with Heung-min Son, right? He has high work rates at a 5-star weak for 4-star skill moves, which is perfect to have as a left mid or a right mid. But the problem with this card, right, is that his agility and balance isn't as good. So with this card, you would have to put a sniper on him, right? Now, if you don't care too much about the pace, which can be relevant at times because the fullbacks are always really fast in this game. If you give him a sniper, you're going to increase the agility and balance, but you're not going to increase the pace, right? So with Son, giving him a sniper would probably be the most ideal thing to do. Even Philippe Anderson with sniper could be better than Son, just because he's going to move more he's going to be more agile around the pitch, right? Because you can see right now that he has the agility and balance, but he doesn't have the reactions. The reactions are a big deal too, so he could be really poor as well. I don't really necessarily see anybody crazy for left mids. That is like just the player you have to get. So here's the perfect one. So Ronaldinho, all right? Ronaldinho, I think Neymar is one. Hazard is okay. I wouldn't necessarily consider him full meta. I think Thierry Henry is medium, which is all right too. Let me see here. So we got Sanchez. We got Mane is fantastic, but he's not full meta. Like he's missing the physical presence. And I think physical presence is important if you don't have other stats that make up for it. Yeah, so I think Ronaldinho would be the most preferable player for sure. So I'd probably try to get him as much as possible. So if we put Ronaldinho in this team, obviously he still gets the chemistry of everybody. He has high-low work rates. High-low work rates might not be ideal, but I think he has the pace and the physical attributes to kind of come back on the defense if he really needs to. But I think that this card will move fantastically well. Obviously, the 4-star weak foot, 5-star skill moves while being right-footed with fantastic stats all around. You can give him any card you want. I don't think it would really matter too much. I think improving the finishing as much as possible is important. So I'd probably give him a hunter card to improve the pace as much as possible, add the shooting stats. Right mid. I know George Best is back, but I don't know if he would be the best one. So Georgie Boy Besto. I'm gonna put some other players in that Ruud Gullit spot too, if you don't necessarily care about the defensive presence. So George Best, right, is 5'9" with 4-star, and he's gonna move around the pitch like an absolute god. So he's probably going to be really nice to have in that position right there. With Ruud Gullit, they have like a couple of dudes this year that have improved that meta in that area. So if you get Johan Cruyff, right? Johan Cruyff doesn't have defensive or physical capabilities, but he does move on the ball really nicely, and he's a good attacker because he's also 5'11 with high low work rates, 5-star, 5-star. So if you want someone that's going to be really good on the attack, Johan Cruyff will be your guy in the cam position. Because for me personally, the agility and balance is a really, really big deal in terms of players moving really nicely. So because his acceleration and sprint speed is already very good, I'd probably slap a sniper card on him so that I can have as perfect shooting as possible and as much balance as I possibly can. Because someone who's 5'11" with high low work rates, it would be really nice if they just move really quickly on the ball, right? Johan Cruyff is one. Eusebio is another one. A lot of people have been talking really nicely about Eusebio, and it makes sense, right? Even though he's 5'9", he does have the 5-star weak foot. He's going to move like an absolute animal around the pitch. You could give him any card as well. You can see his dribbling stats are already fantastic, so maybe giving him a card that improves his physical as well as his whatever would increase. I think there's a card for physical dribbling and pace, or physical shooting and pace, or whatever. Whichever card will increase the physical with the pace would be really nice, or the finishing, because finishing is always really important. So Eusebio will be fantastic to have. In the bottom side, the right back, the only person I can think of at the top of my head is Kyle Walker, but there could be someone potentially better. So right back, if I go to the concept cards, because you want players that are good all-round players, right? You don't want someone who's going to be very linear. So I don't think they're going to have many cards right now. So right now you could only see it's Kyle Walker. When I say players that are good at everything, it's basically like the dribbling, the shooting, the passing, and so on and so forth. Because at some point, the right back will push up and attack. So if he's good at shooting, it would be very nice to have. Florenzi has a great card, but don't necessarily think he would be the most ideal. I'd probably go with Kyle Walker only because Kyle Walker has the high work rates, which is fantastic. He's 6 foot tall. He's 84 jumping with really good physical presence. So if someone tries to go for those far post crosses, he'll be able to defend against those. So probably Kyle Walker in that position. Left back position, the one that I think of at the top of my head is Alaba, but I don't think he'll be the best one. If Roberto Carlos is back this year, he actually might be a really good card. So Roberto Carlos is in this game, so this is what I'm talking about by an all-round good player. Although he is, I think, 5'6", and the height could be a huge problem for defending those far post crosses. So if you don't want to get Roberto Carlos because he's too small, maybe someone like Alex Telles would be a fantastic left back to use, right? So if you use Alex Telles, putting him in that spot with all the legends would work out really nicely. And then in the goalkeeper spot, obviously people always say like David De Gea and stuff because De Gea has the saves with leg trait, but a lot of people have been saying that they've been liking Alisson a lot. So Alisson's been the most preferable player for people in general. So I don't know how. Can't think right now. I don't know if it's pronounced this way with Alisson's card. I think Alisson's with an I. Yeah, Alisson's with an I. So if I put Alisson in the team too, he looks like he has a fantastic card, and people have been really enjoying him. The Legends, they might have Van der Sar in this game still, but I have to check league icons. Or just in general, I'll just check any goalkeeper and see what kind of comes up. So goalkeeper, concept. So they have Yashin, De Gea, Schmeichel, Courtois, Van der Sar, Yashin, Neuer, Oblak, Lehmann, Oblak, Buffon, Handanovic, Levander. Yeah, Van der Sar could be a really good card this year, but the leg save trait is still very nice because if someone doesn't put a lot of power into their shot, De Gea has the leg save trait, which will help a lot. Driven shots are not too consistent this year, but it's still very effective in its own way, right? So those are the players that I would try to strive for in this year's game as we progress forward with the Road to Glory team. This is the most ideal team in my opinion. Probably, I don't know about Alex Telles. Maybe I would replace him, but he does look like he has a really good, really good card actually, because he has the passing and the dribbling, so it helps out a lot, right? High medium work rates, 5'11" with 82. Well, the jumping would be improved with an anchor card or something, so it looks like a really good team, right? So this is the kind of like ideal team I'd make. The first positions that you guys should definitely improve on is the CDM area. That's the first positions you should improve on because anyone can attack with like decent players in the attack. But your CDMs is what's going to win you games. Your CDMs and your center backs. Those are the four positions. If you're using a 4-2-3-1, those are the four positions you need to upgrade at first. I think for the quote-unquote cheaper option, my first center CDM that I want to get that'll be a full meta is kind of a Laurent Blanc, and I think it's the lowest version of Laurent Blanc's card. Because if you look at this card, right, he's a good all-round card. He has medium-high work rates. If I slap an anchor on him, his defending and physical stats will be significantly improved with medium-high work rates, 6'4", with 80 jumping improved with the anchor card. He'll be very good too, right? So probably put a Laurent Blanc in this team too if it didn't work out. The other players like Fabinho and stuff, but Fabinho has a 5-star, or he has medium work rates. But he would be very good too because he also does have the physical presence. So I think Fabinho would definitely be an improvement on that team as well. If we search up his card right here. So this Fabinho card would be really good in the CDM area, but he's not necessarily full meta because agility, balance, acceleration, sprint speed with CDMs makes them move around really nicely. So I think Laurent Blanc would be the most preferable. If we look at his card, he actually is probably like 700k-ish, which is a decent price because that's how much I had to pay last year when I wanted to upgrade that certain position. Because I have Willian, Mane, Roberto Firmino, and Lacazette as a striker. Lacazette striker I need to change to like a Aubameyang or something because I need the physical presence, the height and stuff. But for now, I definitely need to improve the CDM and the center back area the most. But this is the most meta team you could possibly have. If you have this team and you're a good player, you're probably going to win most of your games because they're going to basically be able to do everything for you. With George Best, I'm going to actually see if there is another right mid because he's missing the height. And there could be someone significantly better than George Best. So heights, right mid, only Lucas the right wing. So right wing guards. Luis Figo. So Luis Figo would be brilliant, right? Mbappe would actually be really good too, even though he's 5'10" as well, 4-star weak foot, 5-star skill moves. Mbappe looks like he'd be fantastic. Salah could be potentially good, but Salah's missing his physical might not be important because he has other stats to make up for it, but his 4-star weak foot could be a nuisance. But Luis Figo might actually be the best card to use there because I think his agility and balance is actually okay. Yeah, so his sprint speed's already very good, so giving him a sniper card would probably be the most ideal because he is also 5'11" with 72 jumping, which is decent considering the height that he has. So I'd probably put Luis Figo in that position as well. But better to have the Portuguese guys. Just because of a bias that I have, obviously. So try to get as much Portuguese legends as possible, you know. But that is gonna conclude the video for today, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy it. I'm sorry for the pausing and stuff, and I'm sorry for not streaming. My voice just, you know, it's not my voice. It's, I just feel really sick right now, so I just can't really stream for long periods of time and talk and all that stuff. So hopefully I'll be back tomorrow with a new stream. I have to play a lot of games for Division Rivals because I've honestly missed like three days this week. Because I was sick yesterday, I was sick today, and then on the Thursday I was doing something with my family. So hopefully we'll be good to go tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. If you guys did, please drop a thumbs up on it. Definitely helps out the channel a lot. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.